So do you want to play some underrated Roblox games? Well, welcome, because today I'll be showing you guys some of the best underrated games on Roblox that are very much considered as hidden gems. And guys, let me tell you, even if you're playing with your friends or entirely alone, it will be perfect. With that being said, lads, this video is based on my personal opinion, which really matters on the fun factor. With that being said, let's get on with it, folks. If you're a fan of trains, then I introduce you to Shenanigans Racing, where the game is all about racing against your friends as a literal train and trying to trick them out in a Mario go-kart type shit. I literally had one of my greatest times playing through these games because it was really hilarious, because like, who would have thought you could actually play Choo Charles in a game like this? Because Roblox sometimes really blows my mind out of this. Because like there isn't much racing games like this that's really arcadey and feels like a go-kart game in general. So if you have weird fetishes or train, consider playing this game because you wouldn't really be disappointed with it. Let's talk about Glare, which is an FPS game that's all about shooting your opponent's heads whilst you literally close their eyes. The game is pretty sweet and humble, and if you're bored of playing Arsenal and all those games, I would highly recommend checking Glare out. Even though I didn't really have much fun with it, my friends did, killing me over and over again. So if you're the type of person that wants to try out some new FPS game without all those competitive elements like fandom versus players does once in every while, I highly recommend you to play this game. Even though the game wasn't for me, I highly think my viewers will have some pretty dope time playing it out, but be sure to be careful of its dead lobby because the game literally sits at sometimes around 0 players. I literally had to call my dead friends to come and play with me because there was nobody in this game, and it was quite sad to see the current state of the game. Even though I didn't win as much as I used to, I consider myself to be a parkour god. We have this game called Bless Us, which is a wave-based zombie shooter game that you could play entirely alone or with your friends. And let me tell you guys, the game has a variety of maps with a lot of under zombies, and to be honest, you will have a splendid experience. And there's also classes with different abilities, etc, etc. And I gotta be honest, if you're bored with Michael Zombies and other zombie games, this could really spice things up as it's dead right underrated. So, are we into rolling your brain over and over again? I introduce you to Silhouette, which is basically a game where you fall in love with turning yourself to a mere shadow. Yes, you heard it right. I kid you not when I say this game is one of the hardest games on the list, and one of the few games that are rated so hard that I didn't play Roblox for a month or two straight. You literally make your brain bully yourself. I mean, literally bully yourself, because a person that's into parkour games and want a challenge, you could try Silhouette, but then again, it's not for everyone. It's only for those that really like a challenge. There's no way in hell you could beat this game. It's very hard, and but if you do beat it, I will give you 1000 Robux. Yes, you heard that right. To win it up, all you gotta do is join my Discord server and send a screenshot of you winning it. Yes, this is exclusively for my viewers. Well, after that shameless plug, let's move on to the next one, shall we? Murder Royale is another murder versus survey versus innocent type game that's similar to Murder Mystery Raid. Before you click off the video, I just want to say that the game, although has Murder Mystery element, is very unique in its own element, and it's dead right underrated because nobody is really playing this at all. But the game's like Battle Royale, where everyone comes up in the top of the sky and hits the bottom, in which there is always a murderer and a sheriff. Then they go killing each other, and when a sheriff gets killed by a murderer or vice versa, map has a lot of variety, and you could never really get bored because even if you get killed, this game you could actually spawn back by killing under one of the dudes that got wiped earlier in the game. The game's pretty sweet, and I find it very disappointing that it averages around 20 players or sometimes. I really hope you'll give it the love that it really deserves. So what are you waiting for? Let's play some Murder Royale now. In this game, basically, you kill the players and collect their heads as much as you can in this, round-based game. Although the game's a bit dead, I really believe it will be revived when Headhunter 2 drops, and make sure you check the game out because it's super underrated, and the main thing about it is that the levels are nicely made, and whoever did it, good job, because you will not be bored when you're playing this game. Although the combat is a bit stiffy, once you get used to it, it will be a breeze. It's like, Murder Mystery, but more on hunting heads instead of hunting kills, you feel? Are you the fan of Ghostbusters? Well, I introduce you to Ghostly Manor, which is a game that's all about finding ghosts and killing them as soon as you can. Do you know the game's actually in open beta? So most of the things aren't really, that is very much permanent. It's whooping those ghosts very, very hard with your vacuum. The game has some of iffy movements and stuff, but then again, this game's all about, setting your back on the mind at ease, then continuing to whip those ghosts into their underworld forever and ever. It's actually a pretty, neat game to be honest, even though I never really have fun at going into mansions and looking for them ghosts. The game has around, tower mode, which is pretty sweet. It's like randomly generated, if I'm not really mistaken, but if you're looking for like some story and stuff, the game might not really. So if you're a person that's really, really into Ghostbusters, then I highly recommend you into playing this game. Want to become the next parkour god? Well, you could actually play Sacrifice Century with your friends or entirely alone, because this game is all about being the last person standing. In this game, you actually compete with total strangers and try to knock them out by winning mini games over and over again. One of the neat things about it is that how simple and humble it is. To be honest, there's even a Sacrifice Century too, but then again, I actually love Sacrifice Century 1 because it loves to torture new players like myself. Even though I didn't win as much as I used to, I literally had a blast playing through this game because some of these mini games are literally downright impossible. So attempt this if you're a parkour god. But if you're a parkour noob like this, you love our next game. Are you bored of playing Murder Mystery? Well, I introduce you to Assassin, which is another game like Murder Mystery, but you are just a murderer trying to get your targets. In this round-based game, you'll be hunting down players from different places, and you gotta be careful because some players might have a bounty on you and will take you out first. It's like a free-for-all game where it involves killing the target that the game has given you. It also has some pretty dope cosmetics, and if you just want to try in being a murderer, this game might be for you.
You know what's really, really underrated? Not actually subscribing. Yeah, you heard that right. With that shameless plug out of the way, let's continue.
We call this a first-person game that's sort of similar to Call of Duty, but it turns up to 11 because I kid you not, I've literally sunk over 60 hours playing this game all day long, and it breaks my heart that not many players are giving it the love it deserves. The game might be bogus at times because the snipers are really overrated, but then again, the game's really polished, and if you want to, practice your aim and stuff, the game's probably for you. And the developers behind it did a superb job at the guns and stuff like that. Even though snipers are really overrated, I find the entire system to be pretty fun and overrated for like a Roblox game. But then again, I know why this game's on the underrated list. There's not many players are giving it the attention it actually deserves. Even though the game has few players now and then, the game's pretty solid to be honest, and I really love playing this game. Even though the movement of this game is pretty fast, the game's pretty cool and neat in its own way. If you're really bored of playing, FPS games, you could really try this one out and you wouldn't really be disappointed. Rico also features a lot of weapons, a lot of perks, and a lot of playability in general, because like you can literally take a rocket launcher and blow everyone to pieces, exchange some guns, and do more. It's more of like a simplified Call of Duty, but without the tryhards and sweats that game has. No offense to Call of Duty players, I really love you, but I love the players that play Rico the most. So if you haven't checked the game out, consider doing so.